Good morning, traders. So let's get on with the DAX this morning. Now, this weekly bar that we've had, which is a weekly engulfing, is pretty ominous, which typically would be a rather bearish signal. And as I've been saying pretty much for 2 weeks now, is this area is a very strong area of resistance. Okay, and you can see how the profit taking stepped in and the sellers pushed the price down. Now, we essentially have still got buyers that stepped in last week. So you can see there's still buyers in this area. There were sellers. And if we just look at the size of the wicks on this candle, you can automatically see that there were more buyers than sellers last week. Okay, so ignore the body for now. Really just look at the levels. So at this level versus that level. Okay, so this range here, where were the dominant? What was dominant? So were the bulls or the bears in control? So you can see the bears are in control of the week, so they pushed it down. But the volume of buyers at this level here is far greater than what was happening at the top. And you can see that on the tails. Okay, now, we did break this trend line, but I want to just do that and then copy that and let's put it, we can put it 1 touch, 2 touch, 3, 4 touches. So we can pretty much say that this is a channel. So we're in a rising bull channel at the moment. Now, for me, we're back in this range. And if you remember in November how we battled to get through this range. Okay, so to me, this is pretty much where we are again. We're back in this range. Buyers will be here, sellers will be here until one of these levels break. Let's just get down to the daily and see what's going on. So from the alligator perspective, you can see how we're bouncing off the red line. So basically the teeth of the alligator, and we had a move to the downside. We had buyers step in. I'm just going to delete these channel lines for now. So we had buyers step in pretty much at this level here, and they pushed the price upside. And then Friday we ended up with an inside bar. Okay, and at this stage we have gapped up on the futures market, and we're looking at this area here. Now, there's nothing else. I don't see anything else there. So let's just get to the 4 hour. Okay, so the 4 hour is pretty interesting because you see we have diversions, okay, and we had 2 pushes down outside the Bollinger Band here and then onto a support line. So diversions onto a support line and move the upside. Then what we've also had is pretty much a megaphone formation here, which is essentially a bullish pattern, and we have gapped up to break through this. The other interesting thing is that you can see how the alligator is starting to turn. So this is why I'm saying, to me, this is bottom of the range, and we'll be heading to the top side here for another retest at this level and potentially a break to the upside. Now, we've got to go quite far back. You can see how what we have tested is, or we haven't quite tested it yet. So at the bottom of this inside bar there, we tested this one, but we haven't tested that one. Now I need to move further to the inside, and you'll see that there's a whole lot of areas for us to test here. So this is one massive area of resistance above us. And you see how important it is to draw these lines in and keep them in so that you know pretty much that that's where you need to take profit. If you're long from the bottom here and it's running into this area, don't assume that it's going to run past. Take your profit, possibly even put your shorts in and you scalp it down to the downside and then run it to the upside again. So maximize your profits out of this. Okay, so this break at the moment is pretty tough to call because we're outside market hours at the moment, so we need to wait for 9 o'clock to see whether this holds. So I suspect we'll have that gap will close. Okay, now I'm going to put another trend line in here because this is pretty much the top of this range. But if you see here, you'll see a shoulder. There's your left shoulder, there's a head, and this is a right shoulder that's forming. Excuse me. So a break above this is going to be pretty bullish and will pretty much travel the heights of this head and shoulder. So a break above here, we're looking at this kind of level for the target. So we're heading back to the top of the range. Okay, so that's kind of what's that, 13,200 area. So this is kind of the play that I'm looking for today, but I'll be looking for an entry pretty much. It actually looks pretty cut and dry, doesn't it? Because you'd look for a pullback to close the gap, which would coincide with the alligator, and then a move to the upside. And the area that I'd be worried about, so there is that trend line. I just want to double check there's nothing close by to the left. I doubt there will be. Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of the trend line that we have that's established. We've got 2 touches. I'd prefer 3 touches on it to confirm. But that is another area where we could pull back to. So we could pull back to the gap close. We could pull back to this area here of intersecting trend lines. So pretty much where the break, retest of the break of this megaphone, as well as this trend line. So that would be first prize in actual fact. So to be able to pick up an entry there would be ideal. But somehow I don't think so. I think the most logical place at this stage is going to be pretty much at the gap close and off the blue line of the alligator. So this is kind of what I'm looking for. This area will be along and playing along back to the upside of this range. So yep, that's me today. Obviously, if we break below this level here, you break below this level, then all bets are off, and pay attention to what happens on the downside. We may pull all the way back into this wedge, so into this megaphone, maybe form a double bottom, or even continue the pattern to the downside. So that's kind of what you need to watch out for. So you're looking for bullish action here, bullish action at this area here. If you get it, it's long. If you don't get it, wait until you see something happen. So it could be this area gets tested. It could even be falling to this area. But a break below here is going to be shorts. And the same as on the Aussie, don't play the shorts until you get a retest. So wait for the break, come back, retest fails, starts moving to the downside, then you get in short. So you'd rather want to be short from these levels up here rather than jump in short at the bottom here. Okay, so that's my play for the day. Be watching us pretty closely to see what happens and it's quite a big area, isn't it? So I'll be watching pretty closely what happens in there and looking for a long. Anyway, guys, hope that helps, and I will catch you later.